The wedding lawn shimmered under a wide blue sky, white flowers glowing in the midday sun, laughter rising like birdsong, yet in the brightest corner of that joy sat a child wrapped in silence. She was small in a sky-blue dress, seated in a wheelchair near the edge of the celebration, watching happiness pass her by as if it belonged to another world. No one noticed her still hands or the way her eyes searched for a reason to belong. In a gathering meant to unite families, the loneliest heart belonged to the daughter of the man who owned the city's tallest glass towers. Before the story unfolds further, if you believe in kindness, second chances, and the quiet power of compassion, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel Life Spark Stories. Your support helps stories like this reach the hearts that need them most. The child's name was Myria, and she was 8 years old, paralyzed from the waist down after an accident that had rearranged her life and her father's soul. Her father, Arvind Cade, was known across boardrooms as a fearless CEO, a man who turned struggling companies into empires. At the wedding of his younger sister, Arvind wore a tailored suit and a practiced smile, shaking hands, approving deals, and carrying the invisible weight of grief that no success had ever managed to lift. He had arranged everything to be perfect, yet perfection had no place for a child whose laughter no longer fit the room's rhythm. Guests offered polite nods and then drifted away, unsure how to approach a child in a wheelchair, unsure how to handle a sadness they did not want reflected back at them. The afternoon sun warmed the lawn as music floated through the air, and Myria watched children chase each other between tables, her fingers curling against the armrest. She did not cry. She had learned that tears made adults uncomfortable. Instead, she memorized the colors of the dresses, the shine of shoes, the way happiness looked from the outside. Arvind noticed her from afar and told himself she was fine, that independence was a kind of strength, even when it felt like abandonment dressed up as dignity. Across the lawn stood a man named Rohan Ilyas, a single father invited as a distant friend of the groom. He wore a simple shirt, sleeves rolled under the sun, his eyes following his young son as the boy marveled at the decorations. Rohan's life had been shaped by loss too. He had learned to read rooms by the quiet corners, to notice who was unseen because he himself had once been invisible. When his gaze landed on Myria, something in his chest tightened. He did not see a wheelchair first. He saw a child sitting alone, in a place built for togetherness. Without ceremony or hesitation, Rohan crossed the lawn and knelt beside her, bringing himself to her level, his presence gentle and unassuming. He spoke with warmth, not pity, curiosity instead of fear, and in that moment the world shifted. Myria's face brightened with the smallest spark, the kind that starts a fire. Rohan invited his son to join them, and soon the edge of the wedding became its beating heart, filled with shared smiles, silly gestures, and the simple joy of being included. People began to notice. Chairs turned. Conversations paused. Arvind watched from a distance, his chest tightening as he saw his daughter laughing in a way he had not heard in months. He felt shame rise alongside gratitude, realizing that all his wealth and planning had failed to give her what a stranger offered freely. The CEO walked over, not as a powerful executive, but as a father humbled by kindness. In the bright afternoon light, titles dissolved. What remained was a shared understanding of pain, resilience, and the courage it takes to see someone fully. As the wedding continued, Myria was no longer alone. Guests stopped by, guided by the example set by one man who chose empathy over comfort. The music sounded different then, richer, more honest. Arvind felt something inside him heal, not completely, but enough to breathe again. He understood that leadership was not proven in boardrooms, but in moments when someone chooses to care without expecting reward. If this story has begun to stir something inside you, please take a moment near the end to like, share, and subscribe to Life Spark Stories. Your engagement helps spread these reminders of humanity to others who may need hope today. And before we reach the final words, a special request to comment below and share what kindness means to you.